Hi, I'm here today with Chris Enss, and it's unusual that I can introduce an author that has written more books than I have.
Thank you very much. I have written 30 books on the subject of women of the Old West, and I'm pleased to have been able to do it.
And her most recent release is Entertaining Women. And I hear that you do a little entertaining yourself.
Well, for years I did stand-up comedy. Now I just keep my entertaining strictly to my books.
Excellent. And what inspired you to go in this direction?
I love the Old West. I particularly love subject matters about women of the Old West. There's been very little written about their accomplishments. What we know about women is kind of relegated to Laura Ingalls' Little House on the Prairie, or Dr. Quinn Medicine Women, or Miss Kitty from Dodge City. But there was so much that women did in between that.
Now, I've also heard you're a pretty amazing marketer. And I'm sure my clients would be very interested in knowing your basic philosophy and what's a pointer or two you could give them.
I know that my publishing house does 860 titles a year. With 860 titles, they are not going to spend a whole lot of time marketing my book. I know that it is incumbent upon me to get my title out there and to work my title, and that's what I do. I take a month and I will contact all the independent bookstores in Texas. I will then take another month and contact everybody in Arizona, and I will just continue to work my title and get the information out there as quickly as I possibly can and to as many people as I can.
So when you say you're contacting them, you're calling them and telling them about your book, or you're actually showing up?
Both. For those places, and I do a lot of traveling and do a lot of speaking engagements, and while I'm there I make sure that I touch base with all of the independent bookstores in the regional areas that I'm speaking at, and that's important, that first-hand touch that you can have with the people that run bookstores and the booksellers. That's crucial.
Now, a lot of authors are more introverted and a little shy, but I'm getting the impression you're saying just get out there and go for it.
Well, you have to be able to establish a goal for yourself as your goal, to be able just to sell the book for your family, or do you really want to sell your book at a wide range of venues? And if you want to sell it at a wide range of venues, you have got to get out there. You have got to throw off the being insecure about who you are and get out there and tell people about what you've written.
Well, one thing I've just met you, but the one thing I really enjoy about you is that you're like lively and fun, and you're not apologetic. It's not like, here's my book, would you mind reading it? And you just put people at ease, and I think that's something that we can model. Just enjoy and have a good time.
No kidding. You've spent a lot of time working on something that you enjoy, and you want people to read it. And it is your child. You want that to go out there, and you want people to receive it well. And the only person that can brag about your child is you. And you have got to put yourself into that position to be able to tell the world about what it is that you spent all this time writing. Otherwise, what's the point of it? It'll just be an orphan of your soul if you don't get out there and work the title.
That is really a good insight, because I have no trouble bragging about my daughter. But it's a little harder to promote my books. So that's really a great idea. Now, I want to ask you more of a personal question. How did becoming a published author change your life?
It has enabled me to be able to promote my work more to publishing houses that I would like for them to do more different kinds of books that I write. And I am able now to have a forum to do that. I have something to show them. People work better when they have something tangible in front of them. So now that I have some completed books, I can go to other publishers and say, here's what I've done. And so that has made all the difference in the world.
Now, what would you say to the author that's just about ready to finish up their first book?
I hope, and I would like for them to have been able to have put as much thought on how they were going to publicize this book as they did in writing it, because that is key. We kind of think that somebody else will do that for us, and we don't need to put a whole lot of effort into it. As long as we're doing a signing at Barnes & Noble, we're good. But that cannot be the totality of what you do. Usually you probably don't sell a whole lot of books at Barnes & Noble unless you're somebody like a J.K. Rowling. You have got to be, if you are an author like I am, books of women of the Old West, few people are going to wander into a Barnes & Noble looking for that. So you have got to get out to museums, you've got to get out to a variety of places and peddle your wares. And I would hope that new-time authors, first-time authors, that's what they do. They come up with the whole plan. Where am I going? What do I want to do? how many people do I want to see this book to be seen by? You have to have a plan.
And do you have, I'm going to ask you one final question. Do you have like a mission in your life? Do you feel like your books are going out there and accomplishing something that you're really excited about?
I want people to know about women of the West, and especially young women, to be able to know that they can accomplish just about anything. And also people to know about Westerns. I think that it's very rare that people know so much about the Western books that we have. We always think Max Brand or Louis L'Amour. But I mean, there are wonderful, wonderful authors. Nancy Plain, Sherry Monahan, Candy Moulton, Dorothy Johnson, who's my favorite Western author. She wrote The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance. A lot of people don't know that a woman wrote that book. But these are accomplished women authors who pursued writing about the West. And they could do it. They continue to do it even though people said, "You're a woman. What do you know about the West?" So, breaks new ground.
Excellent. Thank you so much for giving us some time.